Alright guys, it's September the 19th. We are headed out to Missouri to go up and do a little scouting, hang some cameras and trim some limbs. A little later than what I wanted to go, but I wanted to go before deer season, so I did not bother anybody who was deer hunting, but you know, work and everything else keeps you busy, so you gotta go when you gotta go. The main thing today is I want to pick out what tree I want to be in when I go back up later on. That way I don't waste any time. Also make sure nothing's changed. Now if you have not figured out, I'm definitely not a professional at this filming. 100% not a professional at this filming. This is just for fun, and I just put it on there for whoever wants to watch it to watch it. So if y'all got any tips or comments that you can give me that will help me out. Right now I'm working with just the 360 GoPro. I do have a small 4K camcorder I'm going to try out during deer season, but I'll be honest with you, if it comes down to shooting a big buck with my bow or getting it on footage, I'm not a professional. I'm shooting a big buck. I'm not taking the chance of missing out. But I'm going to try to have the GoPro running at all times, but it's got its downfalls. It's a great camera, gets everything around you, but not real good in low light, and not really good on far off distances. But we're going to go up here, and my buddies normally go with me, but they were wrapped up at work, so I'm headed out by myself. I got my bike on the back there. Going to go in and just take a look at everything, make sure nothing's changed. Get some cameras out. Been hunting public land up there for the same area for about 10 years, so I pretty well know most of the places I want to hunt, but you never know. You go up there, they could have cut a dam or put a new field in. You never know what you're going to run into, so you always want to go up there and put your boots on the ground before you get there. There's been quite a few places that I've found over the years that I found them during the scout trip, and I came back during the rut and hung cameras there or hunted there and figured out they were good places. And the main thing on public land that I can tell you that I have learned is you definitely want to scout for the deer. You're trying to plan your deer movement, but most all of us know how to do that. Biggest issue is trying to scout the hunters, because you want to be away from them. You know, a spot on your private land that looks like mediocre, that you kind of overlook is decent, not that great. If you find something like that on public land, but it's no human sign, that is better to me than a spot that is just amazing, that's got lots of human sign. Because in all honesty, if you can find that deer sign when it's just tore up, rubs everywhere, scrapes everywhere, tracks, if you found it, more than likely someone else has found it. And you're going to end up going in there and you're going to have people walking in on you. Last year, I was in the stand and had two guys come in. I flashed my light at them. They acknowledged they saw me. They proceeded to bring their bikes off the levee, which is illegal, by the way, and they drove their bikes down and was going to park them 20 yards from me sitting in the stand, and asked me what my problem was when I was upset. I get it's public land, and everybody has a right to be there. There's no spots. It's not your spot. I don't care if you've hunted it 30 years, it's not your spot. But there's etiquette. You know, I've always figured first person in a spot, they get that spot. So if somebody's already in my spot, I'm going to back out of there and stay away from them. But definitely do not walk up underneath somebody right at the crack of daylight when deer are moving. And I mean, it didn't really hurt that bad, because honestly, whenever they walked by, they were still in sight of me crossing the ditch behind me, and an upper 120s 10 point came walking through directly up underneath me while they were crossing the ditch and climbing the tree. But lesson learned to them. You see this, get in your stand earlier, and deer like that will walk underneath you. Coming in at daylight anyway, just remember, people, use your etiquette and everything on the public land, but also anybody who's got any of these GoPro 360s, does any hunting videos or anything, any editing videos, because that's one thing I have never done is the editing. So if y'all laugh at the editing, it is what it is. I'm doing it the best I know how to do it. Nobody taught me. But any tips you could tell me will help out. All right, we'll see y'all whenever we get up there. Well, still driving, but we did get some excitement on the way up here. I got stuck in traffic on the interstate, driving like 45 miles an hour. And I was trying to figure out who in the world was driving so slow and why nobody was going around me. Once I finally got up there, I was able to find out that it was a lady driving in the center of the road. And every time a car would try to pass her, she was swerving over at them. Anyway, I got up right behind her and I finally took my chance and I passed her on the paved shoulder. And when I went around her, I heard the sirens light up and I thought I was getting pulled over, but two cops got behind her, lights and sirens. I started recording on my cell phone, so it ain't great footage. But they stayed behind her for a couple of miles and she would not slow down, pull over, do anything. Then I looked up in front of me and there was a cop in the median, and he had the spike strips in his hand. And they spike stripped her, blew all her tires out. I called a buddy of mine and tried to find out if he could see what the whole issue was. But yeah, that was at least a little bit of excitement.
And I mean, Melissa, who does my hair and makeup, she has for 20 years.
I love Melissa.
Yes, she'll be like, "You really."
Lady back there is driving in the middle of the
I'm
road.
Like, I don't want to.
And the cops are trying to
and
get her
they're
to
like,
pull
let's
over.
wait until like.
She will not pull over. They've been following her. They cut the sirens on when I went around her. She is driving in the middle of the road and will not pull over. She's got two cops with lights and sirens on. There's another one up here waiting. Right there. Dang, are they gonna spike strip her? Hell yeah, they are. They spike stripping her. Holy crap. They spike stripping her. Oh, she hit him. She hit him. She's going down. They got her. Holy crap. But just update. Still driving, done hit some rain. Bike's getting a little wet back there, but hopefully we'll get up here and it won't be raining and I can get in and kind of go over how I like to hang my cameras. Whenever I go up there, you know, what I like to put them on and everything. And then maybe get some pictures here the next week or so that I can post in the next video. I'll let y'all later. So we made it up here and just got down looking at some new areas, and this spot right here is a canal that's going to be flooded later on whenever I come back to go hunting. But right now this is when you come and find the crossings, and it's eat up with deer tracks in here, just annihilated with them. But if you look up there, I got a camera running, so we're gonna see what goes on here. We're gonna move on down and see what else we can find. All right, so we got 3 spots picked out so far. As you can see, it's pretty gnarly in here, but I've looked at this spot before. It's not really anywhere to climb right there at the camera, but good spot for the camera. Big rubs there and everything. Good trail. I mean, when you come in this time of year, you're looking for last year's stuff anyway. But the main thing is years of experience on the place will tell you where the deer are each year. There's going to be spots that are hot some years, spots that are not the next. But if you'll pay attention, you'll find spots that are good all year long. All right, so
take a bike ride back out, and maybe hang one more camera. Probably just gonna come back tomorrow. Anyway, see you then. This is much easier than walking. I can promise you that. I was about 5 miles in there. I'm done for today. 5 miles with all this stuff. Much easier on this bicycle. Somewhere right in here. Somewhere right in here. I see a big buck every single year when I'm coming in from the car. I think it's somewhere it's about right in there somewhere. Anyway. Alright, so let's go over this. This is kind of what I wanted to go over yesterday. So next day I'm setting up the last camera. Alright, so what I did was I came in here. This is the area that my buddies hunted before, and we kind of know where all the deer are moving through. But I located, you could see, all I did was just brush a few leaves off. There was an old scrape right there. You can see the little broken branches right there on top and everything. This is how I kind of like to do my cameras. There's a major trail coming through here too, so you know deer activity is going to come through. But I cleaned out that scrape. It's a little early for scrapes right now, but in the next couple of weeks I'll be coming to it. But here's the thing that I wanted to show. This right here has been the best stuff I have ever seen. It's the preorbital gland. I don't know if other brands will work just as well, but that one right there, the pure whitetail, has been a game changer. It brings in does, bucks, everything. And I don't know why. I think it's just like a calling sign for them. You know, it's not really rut activity. It's just normal communication between the deer. But we've got that dripped on the limbs up above it. I always drip a little bit down in the old scrape. And we're going to leave that setting up and got the camera going and see what comes out. Now we'll be back at the end of October, the last 2 weeks of October, to hunt. This is not going to be an area I hunt, but my buddy will be in here and we'll see what he gets. See y'all.